Hello, my fellow battle sisters. Today, we will be looking at the fearsome protectors, the Space Marines. Space Marines, or the Adeptus Astartes, are foremost amongst the defenders of humanity, the greatest of the Emperor of mankind's warriors. They are barely human at all, but superhuman, having been made superior in all respects to a normal man by a harsh regimen of genetic modification, psychoconditioning, and rigorous training. Space Marines are untouched by plague or any natural disease and can suffer wounds that would kill a lesser being several times over and live to fight again. Clad in ancient power armor and wielding the most potent weapons known to mankind, the Space Marines are terrifying foes, and their devotion to the Emperor and the Imperium of man is unyielding. They are God Emperor's angels of death, and they know no fear. The Astartes are physically stronger, far more resilient, and often mentally far more removed from the lot of human normal beings. In the presence of the Astartes, most people feel a combination of awe and fear, and many cultures on the more primitive world simply worship them outright as demigods or angels of the god Imperior man flesh. This is to say that they are not intended to lead humanity, but to defend it, sometimes even from itself. Potential Space Marines are usually, but not always, recruited from the world where a chapter has established its fortress monastery, although some chapters are known to recruit from a collection of different worlds in an area of space that they protect or frequent. Recruiting methods vary from chapter to chapter. Some select their neophytes from feral tribes roaming the surface of inhospitable worlds, while others draw upon eager volunteers who have been groomed from birth to become Astartes. However a man becomes a Space Marine does not matter. Once his body has been forged into a transhuman Astarte, he must forever stand apart from the people to whom he was once kin and who he is now sworn to protect. Once a man becomes a Space Marine, he is no longer mortal. His genetic heritage is now of the Emperor himself, and a spark of the same divine majesty flows through his veins. There are approximately 1,000 Space Marine chapters active in the Imperium of mankind at any one time. Since the opening of the Great Rift, these chapters have become compromised of a mixture of traditional firstborn Marines and even more enhanced Primaris Space Marines, or may only contain Primaris Marines. Each chapter is a self-sufficient Imperial army, equipped with its own spacecraft and capable of responding at a moment's notice to any threat to the security of the Imperium. Every chapter is fiercely proud of its history and achievements, and each one has its own distinctive colors and heraldic markings. These were established at the chapter's founding and are displayed with pride upon all of armor and weaponry. The Space Marines can trace their origins back to the Unification Wars on Terra in the late 30th millennium, when the Emperor of mankind first revealed his existence and led regiments of deadly genetic engineered soldiers known as Thunder Warriors in a great campaign to unite all of the myriad techno-barbarian tribes and nation-states of old Earth under his rule. The first among the Space Marines were hand-picked men drawn from the Emperor's personal bodyguards. These volunteers were subjected to surgical, genetic, and psychological modification. With rigorous training and appropriate mental conditioning, they became not only immersively strong and tough, but iron-willed and disciplined, no longer prone to the psychological damage that normally affected humans facing the stress of constant combat. They were unstoppable force whose loyalty to the emperor was unflinching. Quickly, the process was refined and systemized, and the numbers of the new enhanced warriors, at first armed and armored as the Thunder Warriors, grew swiftly. After the Primarchs were found during the Great Crusade, they then created legions of their own Space Marines and named them thusly. These Space Marines were created from the Primarch's gene seed. This gene seed was the genetic material of each Primarch and thus gave each chapter its features. Leman Russ had the Space Wolves and thus had wolf-like features. The Blood Angels had the genetic defect that was not known until the Horus Heresy, and thus it is unescapable. But those are things that we will go into furthermore during the Primarch video and the Horus Heresy. During the Horus Heresy, we lost a great number of our Space Marine legions, and thus we are still repopulating what was once so grand and strong. But the power of mankind will never be faltered. Thank you for joining me on this video of Space Marines, the protectors of mankind. I must go and aid one in particular and kill a chaos demon. Until next time, I am St. Gwen, your sister of battle. If you like the video, please give a like and subscribe for future videos. Thank you.